Dilemma for the APC over zoning arrangements. Party primaries in Edo and Ondo governorship elections draw close. Which way for the APC? And the Labour Party National Chairman, Julius Abure, says wasn't arrested by the police. We'll be finding out more. Hello everyone, welcome to the program. This is Politics Today, live on Channels Television. I'm Sean Kimale in Abuja. Let's begin by letting you know the responses of the National Chairman of the Labour Party, Mr. Julius Abure. Stories making the rounds about his arrest and some of the criminal charges against him, allegedly. Well, he's been speaking to Channels Television. Mr. Abure wondered how he would have met with officials of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, and presided over the National Working Committee meeting of the party to decide on the modalities of the governorship primaries for Edo State if he was in custody of the police. Mr. Abure urged those peddling such rumors to look for another job as he is busy piloting the affairs of the party. Take a listen to him.
It's usually the annual ritual of INEC as part of their constitutional responsibility to carry out verification exercise in political parties. The intention is to ensure that parties are compliant with the Constitution, there is compliance with the Electoral Act, and even with the constitution of the party itself. And so for INEC to be able to do this, they have to visit the party and carry out verification exercise. And so that was exactly what they came to carry out in the office on Tuesday. And the records are very clear. All Nigerians have seen that under my leadership, Labour Party have done exceedingly well. Well, the party is open to all Nigerians who wishes to be members of the party, who can drive their aspiration in the party. But I want to say clearly that as at now, we are not in talk with the Deputy Governor of Edo State, though he's our friend, but that is not to say that we are in talk. It is not to my knowledge that he's making moves to join the party.
Julius Abure, the National Chairman of the Labour Party. Well, for the moment, let's check out some of your political roundup stories, and when we return, we'll be speaking with the leadership of the APC on some of the decisions in respect of Edo governorship election, Ondo governorship election, and the Supreme Court judgment, the stance of the party. Stay with me, everyone. We'll be right back.
The Supreme Court has dismissed the appeal filed by the candidate of the African Democratic Congress, Mr. Nafiu Bala, against the election of Governor Mohamed Yahya of Gombe State. A 5-member panel of the Apex Court, led by Justice Kudirat Kekireekun, dismissed the appeal shortly after it was withdrawn by the appellant. The Apex Court then adjourned to Friday, January 19th, for judgment in the other appeal filed by Mr. Jibrin Berde of the People's Democratic Party. Meanwhile, the Supreme Court panel has reserved judgment in the appeal filed by the People's Democratic Party in Kaduna State and its governorship candidate, Mr. Ashiru Isa, against the election of Governor Uba Sani. Justice Hamza Mazu of the Federal Capital Territory High Court has granted the former governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Godwin Emefiele's request to travel out of the FCT with the condition that he must remain in the country. Mr. Emefiele, who had been restricted to the FCT in his bail terms, requested for a variation of the terms through his lawyer, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, Matthew Booker. Counsel to the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, Rotimi Oyedipo, SAN, did not object. The charge against the former governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria was also amended to 20 from 6. The amended charges now include criminal breach of trust, forgery, conspiracy to commit forgery, procurement fraud, and conspiracy to commit felony. The Council of the Brace Commission, a forum of South-South governors, has reconvened to address the challenges facing the region with a view to improving the standard of living. The new chairman of Braced Commission, Edo State Governor Godwin Obaseki, read a 7-point communique issued after their closed-door meeting at the Government House in Benin City, the Edo State capital. It further states that the region will work closely on establishing a business council to promote economic activities. The governors also pledged to work with the federal government to address the challenges facing the region. The governors of Bayelsa, Akwa Ibom, River State were present at the meeting. Delta, Cross River State was absent due to logistic reasons. The next meeting of the Braced Commission Council is scheduled to take place in Bayelsa by March 2024. Akwa Ibom State Governor Pastor Moore Eno has tasked the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) to be innovative in initiating policies and regulations that will continuously improve electoral processes in Nigeria. The governor is of the opinion that policies and regulations that showcase INEC as a neutral and unbiased umpire in electoral processes will ensure peace and ease of conducting elections. Governor Eno made the recommendation when the state's new resident electoral commissioner, Mr. Isa Ehimake, paid a custom visit on him at the Government House, Uyo, as part of his familiarization tour of the state. The chairman of the Senate Committee on Judiciary, Senator Mohammed Monguno, wants a close collaboration with the Office of the Attorney General of the Federation for a better justice sector plan. He made the request during the ministerial retreat with the heads of agencies and parastatals under the Federal Ministry of Justice in Abuja. Senator Monguno notes that corruption is eating deep on the system and there is need for a death penalty for corruption.
I think it is high time for Nigerians to look at the issue of death penalty for corruption.
Thank you so much, everyone. In a matter of weeks, the different political parties will conduct primaries within their ranks for to determine their party flag bearers in the Edo and Ondo governorship election race. Well, the ruling APC will be under some kind of pressure as it has suffered some loss already in the courtrooms in some of the Supreme Court judgments, and now they would like to also pull some weight when the elections approach. Well, some of these issues are internal, and some of these issues they will face when they go to the field to contest against other political parties. They're already making plans, and they're already deciding how they will conduct the internal elections. Tonight, let's speak with a party spokesperson, Mr. Felix Moka, who joins us live from our Lagos studio. Thank you so much, Mr. Moka, for joining us tonight. Mr. Moka, I guess you can hear me now. Oh, great. Good to see you. Let's begin the conversation. First and foremost, let's get clarification from you. Your party has announced the modalities which is going to conduct its primaries, which you said is going to be through direct primaries. Is it going to be the same in Ondo and Edo?
For now, Sheon, we have decided on the mode of primaries for Edo State. Now, Ondo State is still a bit far ahead. We have not rolled out our timetable for that yet. But for Edo State, just last Monday, the National Working Committee of our party hosted all of the stakeholders in the upcoming Edo election as far as our party is concerned. And at that meeting, it was discussed, both the direct and the indirect modes were discussed. And, you know, the majority of the stakeholders expressed preference for the direct mode of primaries. So that meeting resolved that the direct mode of primaries will be adopted for the upcoming primary in Edo State.
But I mean, how did the party get to the decision of deciding on the mode of primary for Edo using the direct mode?
Now, you know, look, under our constitution, both the direct and indirect modes are recognized as legal and legitimate modes for the conduct of primaries. So meaning that the party can use either one of them. But because, you know, our party is very consultative in the way we do business. We had that meeting to gauge the preference, if you will, of the stakeholders in Edo State. And, as I said, at the end of that meeting, it was clear that the majority of those who were at the meeting expressed, a preference for the direct mode of primaries. So because it's already constitutionally provided, as far as our constitution is concerned, it wasn't a problem to make that decision, as it were.
So give us an understanding, because we know that there are other conditions that we understand that are going to be attached to that primaries, conditions for aspirants to sign that they will not go to court. Is it true? And why would your party try to, in any case, try to get some commitment from the members or the aspirant if not to go to court, even if they feel aggrieved?
No, Sheon. If you recall, in 2022, when we had the primaries for the 2023 general election, that issue also came up. Yes, it is true at that time that there was this form which was included in the nomination package that actually just merely, required aspirants to, fill out a form saying that, they will, exhaust or use, internal mechanisms to resolve whatever disputes may arise, during or after the primaries. But, again, you will recall that at that time, I did in my public, representations, I did, make it clear that the party was not requiring that undertaking as a matter of obligation, and that those who, wish to give it would give it, and those who didn't care, should just discard it. And of course, many discarded it, which is fine. I'm a lawyer, and I understand the premise of your question. So in this season, the party is not, imposing any obligation on any aspirant in Edo State, and I hope also in Ondo State and going forward to, make such undertaking. So I don't think it's a concern now. The party, even yesterday, I think I did also speak on this issue and clarify that the party is not insisting that our aspirants, fill out this form, even though, as I said, back in 2022, it was an issue, and we did, lay that to rest at that time.
I mean, as it is right now, you said you have not decided on whether or not Ondo will have the same treatment as Edo governorship primaries. But can you tell us how many people have obtained the nomination and show of interest forms?
You mean with respect to Edo State? Now, the last I checked... With
respect to Edo State?
Yes, with the last I checked, we had just one aspirant who had purchased nomination and expression of interest forms. Now, I know that several of them, and many of them who have expressed interest in running, were waiting for, some of these conversations, to occur, to happen with the party, and then to go forward. So in the coming days, I think we're going to see more of the aspirants step up to, purchase their forms as required.
Is there any consideration for zoning? Because this is a major issue. And are those who say it will affect whatever decision any of the political parties come up with. For example, the conversation and the scenario playing out on the ground as to which of the senatorial district is feel left out in the number of years that they've governed the state. And there are those who say, look, whichever political parties come up with a zoning arrangement or candidate that come from a particular zone without consideration of the larger interests of the people of Edo State, we suffer at the election. Why does the APC think zoning is not a consideration?
Look, we have not ruled out anything, but as of today, Shehu, we have not decided on any zoning arrangement for the Edo State election. but also keep in mind that zoning, in any event, is quite frankly, it's a persuasive mechanism by the party to try to, achieve some, equity, equity and distribution and fairness, quite frankly, in representation amongst constituent, districts of states or even of the country. It is not something that the party can decide with, a hammer and say, people from other districts must not run. We can't do that, because if you do that, that also raises constitutional questions as to whether or not you can actually, by fiat, exclude anyone who has an interest and who is able to run and who is, who meets the, criteria to run, to actually prevent them from running. So, zoning is always a delicate issue. But in the case of Edo State, at the meeting on last Monday, the issue of zoning was not discussed and was not, no decision has been issued on that. So as I sit here speaking to you, I can, confirm that as of today, there is no zoning decision made with respect to Edo State. Now, will that be made tomorrow? You know what, anything is possible, but I only, worry about what has been done and not what may come.
So, in all of this, there are those who will say, oh, the leader of the APC in Edo State, Adams Oshiomhole, how much of an impact or how much of an influence or his consent has been sought in determining who becomes the flag bearer of the party, because he's probably the leader and the front line person that the party will interface with in the Edo governorship election, isn't it?
Yes, I mean, by any standard, His Excellency Oshiomhole is now Senator of the Federal Republic, is a leader par excellence. He was former national chairman of the party, he was executive governor of the state, and now a serving senator. So he is an eminent leader of our party. And leaders, obviously play a role to, guide and offer ideas and wisdom in how these matters are conducted. But, again, at the end of the day, it is the people of Edo State. He is from Edo State. He will have a vote, at the primaries, like every other, party member. And, he will have, of course, a lot of say in, guiding those who come to him to consult. But, Oshiomhole is also a Democrat who understands, especially having served the party at the highest level and also served the state at the highest level, that democracy requires that the people make their decisions and their choice when it comes to who represents them. So I have no doubt that he understands that and that he will stay within the remit of his role as a leader and allow for the democratic process to take its course in the state.
One will imagine when discussing this zoning matter in the Edo governorship race, the consideration that where the governor will spend now 8 years is from, might be in consideration of those who will say, well, is that other political party and not ours? And so whatever happens there does not concern them. But again, what gives your party the most worry when it comes to Edo governorship race? You had it once, but you lost it.
Yes, we lost it. And, again, that's not, shouldn't be any headline. Democracy is about that. It's about, people and their choices. Today people decide one way and tomorrow they decide a different way. Which is why you can't rest on your record even. You must continue to engage and to inspire confidence and likability. Because ultimately, when people go to the ballot and to cast their vote, they vote, according to whatever they understand to be their own, interest, the way they see it, the way they define it. So yes, we are, of course, very mindful that we had a door and we lost it, which is why, the meeting last Monday was called to, again, remind everyone involved that, the stakes are high in Edo State. But also, we're also aware that the PDP, administration of Governor Obaseki has also, performed, very disgracefully, quite frankly. I mean, all they have done, that, if you open the pages of the papers, what you read more about is the feud between the governor and his deputy rather than, innovative developmental interventions by the government. So, we're also very confident that the lackluster performance by the ruling PDP in the state today, it again creates a lot of hunger for our party to take the saddle. But, we are not, again, taking that for granted. We are working hard and are prepared to work hard during the campaigns to convince the last voter that, we deserve their support. So we can again occupy the government house and do exactly what we promise to do for the state.
In Ondo State, is your party giving the incumbent governor, Lucky Aiyedatiwa, who there are those who say he has interest in wanting to become governor in the next election? Are you giving him a chance of forced refusal?
Look, so we have not had that discussion, but but again, we're a democratic party, we're a progressive party. We don't give anything to people just for the asking. People, have to justify it and have to earn it, and it is not to us that they have to justify their suitability, or for that matter, their qualification, or any other criteria. It is to the people of the state who will participate in the primary, either in a direct primary or in an indirect primary. Whatever preferences anyone may have, it is all subject to the decision, the democratic decision of the party members who participate in our primary. In that case, the electorate, with respect to our party in the state. So there's nothing. We don't give free gifts, if you will, in APC. We contest and we compete, and we win whatever it is we're able to get in terms of representation.
And so you are not considering zoning to in Ondo State?
Again, I cannot preempt.
There's a crucial conversation there.
No, it may be, but you know that I can't preempt what is to come, because we have yet to engage those questions with respect to Ondo State. But if and when we do, and there are reasons to do so, of course we will do so, and then inform not just the citizens of Ondo State, but the entire country, and explain why we took that course. But for today, we have yet to engage that question or make any decisions with respect to Ondo State.
Up to now, the governor hasn't yet appointed or gotten a deputy. You are a lawyer, you know the legal implications of all of these. Is your party worried about it? Is there any consultation in that respect? The governor of Ondo State, clearly understands the imperative of, concluding and, filling up all of the vacancies that exist, so that the government can be in the full form that the Constitution has prescribed. That consultation is ongoing. I'm quite sure that will be resolved, very, very soon, because that vacancy cannot continue to exist for too long. So, but I know that there's a lot of conversation around that subject, and will be resolved, in a very short time from now. Let me take you to the issues relating to the Supreme Court judgments and some of the outcome there. Your party has had victory in Plateau, in Kano, but these are victories that the Supreme Court has condemned and criticized. And there are those, and I'm very sure that you perhaps had heard or seen the comment from the former mayor of Kano and the former civilian governor as to the situation around the victory that your party had gotten in the lower court, especially at the appeal court. Does it bother you, especially the fact that in one of the appeal court cases, there are errors in the obiter and in the final judgment of the court, and one will wonder what exactly is going on?
No, Sherwin, there's nothing to wonder. The courts, the tribunal at the High Court did exactly what the tribunal was, constitutionally charged to do. The Court of Appeal did exactly what they were required to do, and the Supreme Court also did, its own bit. Now, Sherwin, look, there shouldn't be anything to, provoke any, too much analysis. There is a reason that the Constitution created a hierarchy of courts. The High Court, the Court of Appeal, and the Supreme Court. A High Court with, well, the tribunal is slightly different because it has members, but typically, a High Court has just one judge. The Court of Appeal, probably 3 judges, and the Supreme Court, between 5 to 7 judges. There's a reason for that, because, the law understands that human beings, 2 people may read a certain passage, hear a certain set of facts, and come to different conclusions. So in order to ensure that, whatever errors may occur, assuming there are errors, that they're able to, be filtered through these 3 levels of court, and then a final decision is made by the highest court of the land, which is what happened here. I don't think that if the Supreme Court had upheld the appeal court decision, say in Kano or in Plateau, it would be exactly what it is, that the Supreme Court upheld that decision. So I don't think, it calls for any sort of vilification of the appeal court judges because the Supreme Court has found that, their decision was, unsupportable by their own understanding and analysis. Now, don't forget, the Supreme Court itself is not infallible. The Supreme Court is the final court of our land. It is infallible because it is final. But it's not, infallible because whatever it says is necessarily, the truth, by divine standards. Even the Supreme Court sometimes does overrule itself in subsequent cases. So, I don't think we should overplay the significance of that. But I think that, having said that, Shehu, I must again say that when those decisions were given by the tribunals and by the Court of Appeal, you saw the very reckless, irresponsible attack that, was unleashed by, some elements in the opposition, where they completely blasted these judges, called them corrupt, just ignored every decency in their critique of those decisions. Now today, the same court system, the Supreme Court reversed those judgments. I have not heard any of these people now, calling these courts to be anti-democratic, calling them to be, the most corrupt institutions in the world. You see, we cannot cherry pick. We can't pick decisions that actually come out in our favor and condemn the same courts when they rule against us. That is not the way democracy works. You see, we must show respect and deference to the courts. Whether you think they erred, there is a provision to appeal. Go to the appeal court and, canvass your case. Now, if, as was argued by the opposition, that the courts and the judges were all in APC's pockets, that APC had bought them off, how do you explain what happened at the Supreme Court? These are still judges. So, look, I think we need to all slow down.
If I may come in quickly.
Yes, please.
Yeah, just a moment. If people lose in the spirit of sportsmanship and they accept the laws based on the fact that this is fair and square, but when people lose, and in fact the Supreme Court questioned the legal thinking of the lower court, when there are established position of the Supreme Court or the law in relation to the position of the lower court, and the wondering of anybody who has a legal knowledge will be wondering, why exactly is the appeal court giving the judgment in that respect?
No,
why would there be such error in respect of the judgment given in favor of your party? Where will these kind of error come from when this is against the established position of the law? And when people start to question and query some of these issues, and that's where the suspicion comes from, whether or not your party, as the ruling party, has had his way or has maneuvered the court and gotten his way around some of these judgments.
No, Shehu, no, I don't think that there's any rationale or even reasonableness in that line of thinking. Every time a higher court upturns the decision of a lower court, that higher court has invariably interrogated and questioned the rationale for the lower court's decision. That is the nature of an appellate process. Because this higher court is vested with authority to undertake judicial review of the decision of the lower court. So anytime the higher court does not uphold a decision of the lower court, what it has done is exactly what you have said. It has questioned it. So there's nothing spectacular about the Supreme Court in these cases, or in a case we're discussing, actually, questioning or raising, issues. That is what it does. The Supreme Court simply will disagree with the lower court. That's a question. That's an interrogation. So, but that is not to say that the lower court judges did anything that is untoward or that would have compromised their integrity. I think that to say that is to say that in all cases. It shouldn't just be limited to these cases, but I'm sure that nobody who has any understanding of the way, the courts work, will in fact hold that view, because, that's what happens. And that's why they have a higher authority. And like I said, there are many lawyers today who, I'm a lawyer, I have my own viewpoints about some of the decisions that the Supreme Court gave. But I'm not going to, sit here to, canvass any kind of argument, because the Supreme Court has spoken. And which is why in my statement, reacting to that, to the decisions, I said, look, the final court of the land has spoken. We accept the verdict. Not because we necessarily agree with all the legal, intricate arguments that were made. Not because we agree, but we agree because, that is the highest court of the land, and we must, and we're under duty to show respect for the decision of the Supreme Court, which is what our colleagues on the other side, on the other political divide, are not willing to do. They want to simply make a demand, it must be in our favor. If it's not, then the courts can go to hell. That is not the attitude, and it's not helping our democracy.
Where I'd like to anchor tonight is in a question relating directly to the plight of Nigerians. Millions of them that your party made promises to when you were seeking power. And the president, the leader of your party, had said he danced for it, he begged for it, he canvassed for it, he asked for it. But then, if you ask the average person on the street, they will tell you their plight and how things are biting, the situation of things in the country is, and how biting the state of the economy is. Is your party thinking of an immediate measure? Look at the rate of the Naira to the dollar, and look at the rate of prices of commodity. We've entered into another year. One would be wondering if your party has a thinking that it needs to take some emergency decisions to alleviate the sufferings of the Nigerian people.
Sheon, there's no, there's no denying that the economic environment is rather tough. It is tough and has been tough for a very long time. It hasn't been easy for the ordinary person in our country for many, many years. It's not just under this administration. It's not just under the previous administration. It's been under the past administrations. Because quite frankly, we got here today because we generationally created the conditions that has put us in this predicament. And there are no quick fixes. Our party made promises quite all right. Our party and the leader of our party, the President of the Federal Republic, is working hard night and day to move us away from the current difficulties. Now, he has also made clear that some of the decisions he has made will have transient impact on a number of areas of our national life. And he has appealed, and we continue to appeal for Nigerians to understand that for us to get to where we need to be, we will need to go through some rough patches. That is what it is. And, again, when you say this, it's as if you're being defensive. And I'm not being defensive. My elementary understanding of economics instructs me that there are very few countries that have achieved, stability today who didn't go through, series of, twists and turns to get them to the place where they are more comfortable. We, the current generation, we are the ones who are called upon now to make the sacrifices. Because, I am certain that, in time, we are not going to remain like this. And by the way, Nigeria has been forecasted to be one of the, countries, if you fast forward to, say about, 30, 40, 50 years from now, we are forecasted to be one of the countries that would be right there, perhaps some of the fifth largest economies in this world. So, it is not hopeless. But again, on behalf of my party, I say to our people that we need to, continue to hold still and support this government, because I know that we will break and turn the corner in no distant future.
Felix Moka, APC National Publicity Secretary, I imagine that you probably also will be apologizing to Nigerians, millions of them who are suffering, and when you say that they should wait more, some of them are also asphyxiating already, suffocating, and when you tell them to wait more, they ask you, you want us to die in poverty and in hunger?
No.
Well, if that is your message from your party, that's okay.
No, Shehu, that's not my message. No, that's not my message. My message is one of hope, and that it is not hopeless. It is difficult. It will get better. That is my message, that it will get better.
All right. Well,
it will.
We're trusting. Yes. Thank you so much, Mr. Moka, for your time tonight.
Thank you so much.
We'll take a break, everyone, and when we return, we will be delving more into the Edo governorship race. This time, the battle for the ticket of the APC. One of the frontline aspirants, a member of the House of Representatives, Honorable Anamero Dekeri, will be joining me. And he says he's the best man for the job. We'll be asking him why. Our eyes are still on the race for the Edo governorship seat, which the contest is taken up in most of the political parties. The APC tonight gets our attention. We spoke to Soe Ighodalo yesterday of the PDP. Tonight, we're looking at the APC and the battle for the ticket of that party. Now, those who won the party's ticket have gotten into 2 digits now, and so who gets the ticket of the party? Tonight, I'm being joined by the sitting member of the House of Representatives representing Isako in the federal constituency in the House of Representatives, Honorable Anamero Dekeri joins us live here in our studio. Thank you so much indeed for your time tonight.
Thank you, Ushu, for having me.
You're a member of the House, or you want to be governor?
Yes, I
am.
Why? As a member of the House, I am a legislator. As a governor, I want to lead my people, the Edo people. I want to lead them out of this current state of suffering. The state at Edo State right now, state of the state is such a pitiable situation. Our people need to be liberated. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, what experience would you say you're coming with? Who is Anamero Dekeri? Why should the party look in your way? What makes you think you can get a party's ticket?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Shehu. I have everything going for me as a citizen of Edo State. Looking at my track record, my pedigree, Edo people, my people, they know who I am. In terms of my intervention as a private citizen in people's oriented programs, all my life I've been bridging the gap between the people, the downtrodden, and the government. I have, over the years, invested in the education of our people outside of government. Over the years, I have built community, support the people, empower them. I have always interfaced between the downtrodden and the people.
So you've been a philanthropist?
I'm a philanthropist, not just philanthropist. All my life, I've always been providing solutions. I am an operations person. I study situations, I analyze the issues, I provide solutions. I have analyzed the issues in Edo State right now, and I know I have what it takes to take Edo State out of this state of this embarrassing state we are faced as a people. So this is why I'm in the race.
I mean, so let's look at the situation in your party, and I'll come back to the larger Edo agenda. If you look at what is going on in your party, and I look at you're from Ishako, and there's a zoning issue, and now you understand that there is a mode of primary that the party has adopted. Do you agree with the party on that mode of primaries, first and foremost?
Yes, I do agree with the party. I am a party man. The primaries, if the party is doing whatever they can to throw up the best. So I agree with the party, as long as they have assured us that the process will be fair to all aspirants. And on that threat, I agree with the party.
Have you picked up your own expression of interest from a nomination form?
No, we are. You understand that the party has called several meetings, has even set up a screening committee. The party advised that all candidates should hold on. They shouldn't pick a party nomination at the expression of interest and nomination form yet, waiting for the outcome of the screening, so that they can prune down the candidates to manageable numbers. So that is where we are. By the grace of God, the process is on. I have passed through the screening.
Did you pass the screening?
Yeah, sure. Well, the committee they were given terms of reference. Based on the terms of reference that I saw, or that what I was screened on, I think I am the best candidate for the job. I came out as, I believe I came out as the best. For instance, the party, I give it to my party. For once, they are beginning to be sensitive to the people. They are beginning to come to terms with reality, because they know, although politics generally is evolving, although people are very, very civilized people, and of course, we are a people that are proud of our cultural heritage. So on the strength of that, going by the outing the party has had over the past 2 elections, I'm sure we have learned our lessons. So based on the strength of that, I look at the criteria they set for the screening of the candidate, which includes but not limited to the pedigree, who is the person we are presenting, what do you have to offer the people, what is your track record, and all of this. So the cruise of it is they really want to know who are we presenting before Edo people, because our people are very, very sensitive. They have seen the dynamics is changing. Edo people don't vote on ethnic lines. They are voting on the strength and the competencies of the candidate, and of course, most importantly, the pedigree. Sure, you know our embarrassing outing in the last 2 elections. It wasn't as if we didn't feed the Edo candidate. So when the screening committee were asking, do you have a criminal scandal? Now look at my name, and you can ask Google if you don't know. In case I will hid anything before you, ask Google. As Anameru, www.google.com. Is Anameru Dekeri a criminal? So these are some of the things the party asked, and I was so glad that our party has become so cautious, because whatever we do internally as a party now, we are doing this, believing that we are going to meet the electorate who will ultimately pass the verdict. Now, I'll give you this. Our Edo people, because of our nature, even most of them, they come in. Even your outlook. Edo people want to see somebody who is having that charisma of a governor. I'm talking of as ordinary as outlook. I'm looking at your pedigree. So what they are enduring now in the state, compared to what we saw in 2020, I think from Edo people rather prefer to endure what they already know that was not good for them, to what we were presenting, based on what the track record of what the party may have said.
And I'd like to ask you, I mean, and I was speaking earlier with the National Public Secretary of your party, and I asked him, the Oshomole effect and Oshomole factor is a major one. And whoever, those who are saying in your party, that whoever will become the party's flag bearer, who has to be someone also, Oshomole has to also agree with. How close are you with him? Has he agreed to your ambition? Are you speaking with him? Has he not given a nod?
Well, thank you very much. Are you aware that I'm representing Sako Federal Constituency in the House of Representatives? Oshomole is our leader. He's the senator representing my senatorial district. However, I am not as close to him as people may see. I think press, you kept asking this question. I am one of the candidates that is most distant from Adams Oshomole. He's our leader, and I still have that belief that Oshomole, as a Democrat, he will want the best for the state. He will want the Edo people. We want to feel the candidate Edo people we willingly surrender their votes to. So on the strength of that, I am believing that Oshomole will not be biased to me or any other aspirant. I think these are the things I have. But for personal relationship, yes, he's our leader. From time to time.
Have you spoken to him about your ambition?
Of course, yes. What
was his response?
I did. Well, so like every other aspirant, Oshomole is not out to anoint a particular candidate. He wants the process to run seamlessly. He wanted to come up with the best to present before the voters.
But is it true, though, that whoever Oshomole anoints could likely be the candidate? Those are the conversations going on in your party.
Well, I'm not aware of that. Oshomole is a leader. He's a Democrat. He believes in teamwork. I don't think he's going to take a unilateral decision on the candidacy of APC in this coming election. But that is why I told you they have set up a committee. The committee have their guidelines. Among the guidelines I've listed to you, looking at the track record, looking at the competencies of the candidate, looking at the acceptability. All these factors put together, I believe I am the best candidate for the job. Look, I have let me explain to you. How do you see a situation where fellow aspirants come up to you and say, "Oh, are you?" Not that I've not even met with you. Are you Mr. Nameru Dekeri? Oh, I'm proud of you. The people love you. Keep doing what you are doing. Not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, not even up to 10. So I am at home with the people. Like I said,
but being a philanthropist is different from being a governor. Understanding how to lead the people when you freely give what you, the means that you have to them, is different from governing them as a governor. These are two different things.
Thank you very much. Shehu, I want to ask you, what is governance in the first place? The responsibility of any responsible government is to first of all, protect lives and property, provide enabling environment, like a nation like ours, a federation like ours, provide enabling environment for the people to thrive, to go about their businesses without fear or without fear. Now, security. This is about what is paramount in the country today, where you see some sector of this country be displaced or this or that. And those states on its own has its own fair share of security. How do you support the security? In my private capacity, I have been organizing security training in collaboration with the security formations we have on the land. I understand as a people every day, for you to have a secured state, you have to also have security. You have to also have full security. Now, from time to time, go and find out from me. I am not in government. I organize periodic training and empowerment for farmers. I am not talking that aside. And Amero should know that Edo State is growing. The population is growing. Youths are coming out of school. I am a man who believes in education. I invest so much in the education of our people. When these youth finish their education, what next will they be doing? Where are the industries for these youth to work? How do we channel this into productive ventures? Well, and Amero should understand that infrastructures have to work. I should understand that for those states, for commerce to thrive, which is the basic, an average Edo woman is a trader, I should understand they need this road infrastructure. I should understand that as the population is growing, we need to improve our water supply. Our people need water. I should understand that as a result of incursion from other neighboring states, we need to improve our facilities. People will be sick. Hospitals need to be built. I should understand that this generally should work for the people, because I keep telling our people, if we continue to feel comfortable in our private homes or in our private capacity, once the society is not working, naturally it will be revolting against the system. This is why you see. Yes.
Yeah, I'd like to ask you. Apologies to cut you there, but the question is, and you know, today in Edo State, a major conversation is where the next governor will come from. Zoning. No matter how difficult that conversation may be, it is a germane conversation on the mouth and the lips of the people of Edo State. That doesn't favor you. If I look at how, where you come from and what people are saying on the ground, the zoning arrangement doesn't look in your favor.
Right. Thank you very much, Shehu. This zoning arrangement kept coming over and over and over. I think we need to clarify this for once. I am not totally against zoning arrangement, but I keep telling our people, just like the National Working Committee has also agreed, that you can only zone that what you have. We are not the ruling party, we are not the leading party at the state level. First, we need to save the state first, bring the government of the people to bear before we start talking of how to zone political offices. Now, if we are talking about zoning, most people believe that the only thing you can do for your people is for your zone to produce the governor of the state so that you can develop your zone alone. It is totally wrong. This is wrong. As leader, as governor, you need to develop the state across board. Because once this is in place, I am sure in due course, with the idea of zoning, people will be less concerned about zoning. For instance, now, with due respect to the United States, you can see that the state is practically run on autopilot. Anybody can come and become the president of the state that the state is going, because there is a blueprint, there is a developmental plan spanning over the next 100 years. Do we have that in Edo State? We need to breed generation of leaders. So that if any zone that as we grow as a state, as we grow for any zone that is asked to produce the next governor, we don't just dash to the street and we say, oh, come, it's our turn. They say we should breed. No, there should be generation of leaders in place. If you look anywhere, you see tons of them coming to lead a state that has already been planned, that will be proven on the state, and before you know it, Edo State will be a state that every other state in the federation will be looking up to. This is my vision. This is my aspiration. We are talking of our. Let all people look at why people are suffering. The basic intervention we're supposed to intervene on behalf of the citizens of the state. Who is talking about the welfare of the farmer today? Who is talking about, look, our Edo State can feed the nation, the rice production, Agbede rice, Afuze rice. If we encourage this farmer, bring in technology, bring in expertise to bear, Edo State can feed the nation with their rice product. I'm not talking of pineapples. These are basic things that we have going for us. Talking about mangoes, all these things are in abundance in Edo State. We only need to encourage to look inward. Look at this product, key into the multiplier advantage, the value chain of this product. Edo State will work naturally, and everybody will be proud that this is from.
Isn't that one of the things that Governor Obaseki is talking about? And he says that's what he's trying to do in Edo State.
For how long will he be trying to do? He has less than a year. He has been there for several years. The same try to do, the same MOU, the same thing we have been hearing. We have heard this one story too many. So we are talking of the reality. These things are there.
So you don't think that Obaseki has done anything?
He has not done anything.
Would that be fair to describe Obaseki is over 7 years in office as nothing?
You are journalists. Go to the state and profile what the administration has done over the past several years. This is we are talking of a reality. We are talking of what is visual, what the people can see. Look. We're talking, okay, we have been told that Gelegele Seaport is, they are going to build Gelegele Seaport. A lot of stories we have heard one, two, so many, multiple times. We are talking of the basic. Edo people are not asking for too much. Secure them, give them the enabling environment, encourage them, talk to them.
If Edo people look in your direction, these are the things that you will do.
Edo people love me. I've told you in this conversation that even my fellow aspirant, up to 10, they say, oh, are you down? Those that have not even met with me. Edo people love you. The people will support you. But you are not from my zone now. I said, no, we should leave sentiment out of this. Let us look at acceptable candidate, a candidate that will interface with the people, will come together, we plan how the state will work better for us. Look at the demography of the state. What are the needs of the people? Look at our infrastructure, hospitals. People are dying. So let me tell you one thing. I've been carrying one pain for too long. A widow called me about 2 years, complained bitterly. I received multiple calls. Oh, I need this help. Oh, my daughter is dying. I just need this. I supported her. But the woman called me about a month after. Danko, you know you are trying. I was afraid to call you. Unfortunately, I couldn't have money to do. So all these pains, all these things, when I feel about, when I hear them, I feel emotional. Our people need direction. They need somebody that will be there for them, that they can plan together. We evaluate and take the next action.
Honorable Anamero Dekeri, popularly known as Danko, on the ground by his people, a member of the House of Representatives representing Esako, Federal Constituency in the House of Representatives, is an aspirant for the ticket of the APC. Thank you so much indeed for your time.
Thank you,
and I wish you the very best.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
That's our show for tonight, everyone. Many thanks for watching. I'm sure Akim Ale. Bye-bye.